Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Hold on. What is going on with this? All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the party today. It is Friday, August 8th, 2025. This is episode 939 of Simply Cyber's Daily Cyber Threat Proof Podcast. I am your host, Dr. Gerald, Auger, coming to you from the remote studio here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Definitely operating at 88% capacity. Good morning, everybody. This is your Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Brief, and over the next hour, me, you, Mara Levy, Robert Hendrickson, Bonnie Charles, Augusta Delgado, Christopher Ryan Rains, we're all going to be shredding the top cybersecurity news stories of the day, and I'll be doing everything in my power. I'll be doing everything in my power to basically give you the top cyber news stories of the day, but at the same time, go deeper than the headlines to provide you additional value, additional insight, and additional just excellence so you can level up your career as a professional and how you can crush job interviews. Oh my God, good morning. It is 5 a.m. out here on the left coast. All right, Mark Lester says audio. Mark, thank you for the note about the audio, but I'm not, like, if there's something more actionable, let me know on that, guys. It is Friday. I am dragging my butt a little bit. Haven't had the coffee yet. Had an external monitor issue I had to sort through right before we went live, so that has been sorted. We are ready to go. Not digging how my monitor looks here, but we'll get sorted through it, guys. All right, let's run through it. Why should you check this show out? I'll give you a number of reasons. Number one, top cyber news stories of the day. You're going to be asked in any job interview, how do you stay current? We are going to go through all of these stories. I haven't researched or prepped any of them, and that's okay because I want to give you rough, rugged, raw, authentic analysis and insights. Number two, why'd you want to be here? Community. You see this chat above my head? Phenomenal group of people. Here, I'm really struggling with this external monitor in OBS. Let's see, quickly try to tighten it up a little bit for you guys. Yeah, so community, right? Whether it's virtual, in person. Oh my God. All right. So I just juiced the audio a little bit since some people are saying that it's low. The problem is the way the audio is playing the music, that sweet, sweet shredding guitar from the midnight is playing at like volume 3000 in my ear. So that's actually proving to be a little bit difficult to focus. All right, guys. So community, right above me, right here, Space Tacos, Not Only IT, Maxime, Brexy. Say hello to everyone. If today's your first episode, I promise I will drink some coffee and try to get a bit more lively as I'm tired. But all right, Big Ven Casa says we're good to go. All right, guys, do me a favor. Every day of the week has a special segment. Fridays is Joke of the Week, so if we can get to the mid-roll, James McQuiggan has provided some rib ticklers for us to enjoy. Also want to say Black Hat is over, DEF CON is here. Shout out to all those who flew in. Great to have you here in Las Vegas. Looking forward to it. I will be speaking at 10 a.m. over at DEF CON's Noob Village. So if you want to come high five early, come check out what I think is going to be a great talk. Please come on, check that out. Otherwise, I hope to see you at the Simply Cyber community meetup this afternoon. We actually sold out of tickets. I opened 25 more tickets up, like literally our max threshold. So congratulations, we've raised $1,000+ for Black Girls Hack, and we're gonna have a wicked good time. Team photo, more to come. All right, Isaiah Morris, that's how I feel, buddy. We made it to another week. All right, really quick, let's run through the sponsors. I'm going to play the Threat Locker sponsor first so I can drink my coffee. I'm dying. All right, I'll see you guys in a hot second. I want to give some love to the Daily Cyber Threat Brief sponsor, Threat Locker. Do zero-day exploits and supply chain attacks keep you up at night? Well, worry no more. You can harden your security with Threat Locker. Worldwide, companies like JetBlue trust Threat Locker to secure their data and keep their business operations flying high. Threat Locker takes a deny-by-default approach to cybersecurity and provides a full audit of every action allowed or blocked for risk management and compliance. Onboarding and operation is fully supported by their US-based Cyber Heroes support team. Get a free 30-day trial and learn more about how Threat Locker can help prevent ransomware and ensure compliance. Visit threatlocker.com/dailycyber. All right, yes, Code Brew wants me to pour Monster into my coffee. That would be insane, insanely awesome. Am I right? I still haven't had a Monster Energy, so I think I'll wait to have one until I'm with the Daniel Lowry. Guys, really quick, do want to say shout out and thanks to Barricade Cyber's Fortify 365 solution. Just to make you guys aware of it. Right now, many of us run M365 environments, but we don't actually understand if we've secured it reasonably. We get a lot of configuration capabilities by default from Microsoft, but they don't come enabled or turned on to begin with. I'll give you a perfect example. Just yesterday's news story, we talked about the direct send email option that threat actors are currently abusing. While that's probably not part of Fortify 365 standard configuration hardening kit, it's probably something that they know about and would likely talk to you about and get sorted out. All right, hold on. All right. So go to fortify365.com today. You can learn how Barricade Cyber can help you configure your environment to be secure and hardened, conditional access, MFA, all the things that are best practices. They can get you sorted out right quick. Also want to say holla to Antisyphon training, guys. Solid. Let me tell you something really quick about Antisyphon training. They're disrupting the traditional training industry by offering high-quality, cutting-edge education to everyone, regardless of financial position. Roswell UK understands. Captain Columbia understands. If you didn't know, August 27th, so later this month, they're actually hosting a free cybersecurity virtual conference called Blue Team Summit. Half of the speakers are Simply Cyber community members. That's how awesome this conference is and our community is. It's free to attend. I strongly encourage you at least register for it. And you can get into it. All right, so I'll drop a link in chat, and then I see a super chat from one wonderful Space Tacos. Let's take a look at what she said here. Space Tacos with a super chat, of course, Space Tacos.
We just become best friends. Yep.
I believe in you, Jerry, even when you're exhausted and dragging a bit. Hope you get some rest soon. Happy Friday. Simply Cyber Sippy Cup. Yes. Thank you very much, Space Tacos. I'll take a slug for the super chat. Where are we right now? Where's my camera? There we go. Yes, it is. It's one half exhaustion. It's one half this week. Anyone who's in Vegas this week or has come in the past knows full well this week it kicks your butt. It really does kick your butt. Mrs. Auger and I went to a Cirque show last night, and we were like struggling. There's like people flying around, fireworks going off, and we're just like, ah. So yeah, it's a whole thing. All right, guys. All right. All I have left is the delete me ad, and we'll wait for the mid-roll to do that one, guys. Today's your first episode. I apologize that you're getting a half awake host, but I promise you the content, the stories, the community all will be awesome. Drop a hashtag first timer if it is your first time with us. Again, drop a hashtag first timer if it is your first episode with us today. This again is episode 929, or oh my God, 937. Jesus. Sorry. Sorry, it's 937. Oh my God, I am cooked. By the way, like fun fact, like I'm not overindulging in alcohol. I'm not staying up past normal bedtimes. This is what it looks like when you just like normal Vegas. I'm sure if you find like Jesse Johnson right now, or Joe Hudson, or Casually Joseph, or Zach Hill, or I'm calling him out. You might get a different experience. All right, guys, do me a favor. Holla. Let's cruise through this. Remember, we're going to have a panel jaw jacking at the end of the episode, 9 to 9:30 a.m. Eastern, and then at 9:30, James McQuiggan, Simply Secure. This show is like incendiary hot. I love this show. His guest today is none other than Casually Joseph, the Palo Alto Unit 42's Ginger, the redheaded um, delightful analyst who is he's a close personal friend, which is why I'm saying these things. Love myself some Casually Joseph. If you've been in the community for a while, you know exactly who Casually Joseph is, and you know how wonderful he is as an individual and as a practitioner, frankly. So his story definitely going to inspire. But for now, do me a favor, sit back, relax, and let's let the cool sounds of the hot news wash over us in an awesome wave. Whoever said I'm the poster child for Vegas, you're killing me. You're killing me. Okay, let's go. Oh my god. Yes, Cashmere. That's right.
From the CISO series, it's cybersecurity headlines.
These are the cybersecurity headlines for Friday, August the 8th, 2025. I'm Steve Prentice. Microsoft warns of high-severity flaw in hybrid Exchange deployments. This is a vulnerability that could allow attackers to go undetected as they escalate privileges in the Exchange Online cloud environments that connect on-premises Exchange servers to Exchange Online to allow for seamless integration of email and calendar features. Quote, by abusing this shared identity, attackers who control the on-prem Exchange can potentially forge or manipulate trusted tokens or API calls that the cloud side will accept as legitimate, as it implicitly trusts the on-premise server, end quote. This vulnerability, quote, affects Exchange Server 2016 and Exchange Server 2019, as well as Microsoft Exchange Server Subscription Edition. That is the latest version, which replaces the traditional perpetual license model with a subscription-based one, end quote. No exploitation has yet been seen in the wild, but Microsoft has tagged this as exploitation more likely.
All right, so check this out. Yeah, no, Code Brew. Code Brew says it perfectly here. Like, this is exactly what I was thinking about when this story started. Again, I don't research or prep for these stories. Also, just as a production note, I'm feeling the coffee flow through my veins right now. I'm turning into that meme of Emperor Palpatine when he like turns full evil and he's got the lightning bolts coming out of his fingers. I'm starting to feel myself, guys. Like my legs are starting to spin and turn into a blur. Like in Scooby Doo episodes before they run away. So like still standing still, but legs blurry, and I'm about to like Sonic the Hedgehog out of here. Okay, so check it out. First and foremost, I don't care if today's your first day in cybersecurity and you're a, junior intern, or if you've got 20 plus years, you've CISO'd ships, you are a SOC manager. We all need to collectively agree to get off Exchange on-prem. It is like, you know what Exchange on-prem is? It's like walking into a house that you got on like foreclosure, and like in the main kitchen there is like a 1950s style refrigerator, and it's all like banged up and moldy, and like you open it and it's kind of cold in there, and you're like, well, I've got a refrigerator, I guess I don't need to buy one of those. Like, yeah, you do have a refrigerator, you do have a mail server. Okay, Exchange is that old janky moldy fridge. And yes, you can stick food in there, but do you want to? No. Do you want to pull something out of that fridge and heat it up? Hell no. Do you even want to touch that fridge? No. Exchange on prem is gross. It's got multiple issues. It's I don't know if it's outlived its life. I mean, if it continued to be supported, that'd be fine. But dude, most businesses have at least gone to hybrid, right? If not fully M365 in the cloud. So there's no reason to like do it. In my opinion, new business, unless you're like doing something super secretive, and you don't want your email in the cloud, but like when but I don't know. For the most part, I think anyone with on-prem exchanges or legacy environments that they're just either unfunded or they're don't have the resources or talent to actually make the hybrid migration or the ultimate migration all the way up in Exchange Online. No, but Exchange, just Google Exchange exploitation 2025, 2024, 2023. Like, so many of these things. Now, this particular problem, okay, yeah, high severity flaw. When I read this, okay, I don't crap my pants, okay? I don't I'm not like rushing to get a clean pair of underwear with this one, okay? That for this bug to get exploited, sure, it would be really bad. You could pivot from on-prem into the M365 tenant and go buck wild. Ooh, ooh. You have to have administrative rights on the Exchange box to begin with. Hello, that's like a pretty tall hurdle like to get over. Now Exchange itself is gross. So if you haven't been patching it and everything, compromising it and getting credentials on it is possible. But like in order to like really achieve execution of this, the threat actor would have to do a lot of work leading up to this. This is not your initial attack vector, 0-day remote code execution, no touch from the user, unauthenticated, all that. This is you have to have full access of the Exchange server, which means, okay, that at that point, if I have full admin access of an on-prem server, chances are I can just dump the credentials and get all of the domain creds, the domain admins. If you're like, listen, I hate to be super judgy, but it's Friday in Vegas. If you're running on-prem Exchange, chances are you probably have like 300 domain administrators too. And that's, for those who aren't in the industry and don't know, that's like a wild insult because you shouldn't have more than a few domain admins, but like crappy environments that don't really do identity and access governance, we'll just give everybody domain admin because why not? That way they stop calling help desk. So my thing is like you have so much other bigger problems cooking if someone has admin full access on your Exchange server. So TLDR, this is cool from a research perspective, certainly not dissing the fact that someone discovered this and published it. But for me, I guess here's my thing. I would be more focused on migrating off Exchange on-prem than I would necessarily be on creating detections looking for this nuanced exploitation or vulnerability from being exploited.
France's third largest mobile operator suffers breach. Bouygues Telecom, that is spelled Bouygues, one of France's largest telecom companies and its third largest mobile operator, announced on Wednesday that it had been hit by a cyber attack that compromised the data of millions of customers. The attack has been resolved, but a statement released by the company describes, quote, unauthorized access to certain personal data from 6.4 million customer accounts, end quote, although it does not distinguish between mobile customer accounts and fiber-to-home accounts in that tally. This attack follows another one last week affecting Orange, which is the largest telecoms provider in France, although Orange did not disclose any breach of customer data. Just as an update, there has been no subsequent reported impacts on Orange customers, either in the retail or enterprise spaces.
All right. So, okay, large telecom provider in a country hit. Okay, immediately I think of is it Salt Typhoon? China APT. China has been going bananas all up into telecoms. Recently, they hit every major telecom in the United States. Maybe it's alleged it was China. I don't know if that's confirmed yet or not, but I believe it is. And now France, sure. Like Orange was hit a little while ago. It sounds like this is another one. Boogies, Bouget Telecom, whatever that is. TLDR, guys. Everybody's using mobile phones, right? Like even wireless hotspots and stuff. But for the most part, mobile phones, everybody's got at least one, maybe two. Even if you can't tap the data, you can see that like my phone texted Robert Hendrickson's phone at 2 a.m., right? You can see the connections. You might not see the data, but you could see the connections. You could start piecing together relationships. You can start, I don't know what these telecom breaches, if they're getting real time data, like, what the IMEI is for my phone, so then they could tap it and see where it is GPS located. So you could have physical security concerns. You could actually, if you can control enough of them, you can get a situation like they had with the Strava incident a couple years ago, where they were able to find forward operating bases in the Middle East because they could just see tons of devices circling a base in the desert. So there's a lot of like downstream use cases of data that gets stolen than you might think of. 6.4 million people's data compromised. Again, this sucks because this is another one of those examples where it's like me, Carrie, V. Brown, Terrence Billingsley, Isaac the Noble. It's like our data that got compromised. The telecom company, it wasn't their systems that got taken down. It wasn't the CEO's personal emails that got breached. It was like my home address and stuff. Now the good news is the company did publicly say that the situation was resolved as quickly as possible and all necessary measures were put in place. This is super generic, super, standard IR communication playbook. So it is important. It is important to point out here, if your organization doesn't have, when I say incident response, right? Like maybe your organization's smaller and you don't have like an IR plan, or you don't know who to call, or it's just an all hands on deck, figure it out in the moment. That's fine. It's not great, but it's fine. You should use tabletop exercises to at least work through these things and say, hey, like, we just got breached. Like, let's pretend we just got breached. Like, what do we do publicly? Do we go on Twitter and say we got breached? Do we call the local newspaper? Do we say nothing? Like, where are we legally required to report versus, it's a choice of ours to report? These are questions that you should talk through and work through the different scenarios through a tabletop exercise. Also, quick shout out, I'll have some video coming out on the channel in the next couple weeks. I actually attended a tabletop exercise with Joe Marshall. You guys remember Joe Marshall from Cisco Talos? The guy's got like a deep baritone voice. He's really, really cool. He's done like a bunch of stuff with industrial control systems. Him and Mick Baccio, that really cool guy from formerly Splunk. Now he's global security advisor at Cisco. The two of them were there running a tabletop exercise, which I was very pleasantly surprised to see was Backdoors and Breaches, Black Hill's own program. And it was just a really, really well done. So just tabletop exercises don't have to suck, okay? They can be a lot of fun, and they can be very, very valuable for an organization to work through these things in a non-wicked stressful state. All right. I do want to say, I am noticing right now we have kind of an all-time low headcount in chat, 292 people. I don't think I've seen us go under 300 since the early days of the show. So definitely a lot of people out here in Vegas who decided Thursday night was the night they were going to get after it. All right. Yeah. Salt Typhoon breaches. Yeah, there you go. You can see right here.
Dialysis company's April attack affects 900,000 people. Following up on a story we covered in April, DaVita, that is DaVita, a Denver-based healthcare provider of kidney-related care such as dialysis, says that the ransomware attack that occurred in April did result in access to PII along with health insurance information and medical information of more than 900,000 people. This was accessed as part of a 1.5 terabyte haul claimed by the Interlock ransomware gang. As quoted in the record, quote, the attack caused alarm because of the pivotal role that DaVita plays for dialysis patients in treating end-stage renal disease, which necessitates kidney dialysis 3 times per week until patients receive a new kidney.
Okay. So this is a very similar story to the one we just talked about of a company doing something. In this case, it's a healthcare company providing dialysis, but they got hit and our data. It's our data, right? Legrad, Augusta Delgado, Faced Oil. It's our data that got compromised, and this company just has to wear a little bit of egg on their face and keep on moving. Now, I just told you about tabletop exercises and the importance of it. Let me give you a little bit more value on this particular one. For a practitioner for someone who's like not new to someone, excuse me, who's new to the industry, this is important. If you've been around a minute, chances are you already know this, okay? The company said it was hit by a, ransomware threat actor. It said that it was able to remove the cyber criminals the same day. So less than 24 hours, chances are like less than 12 hours. They detected a breach, whatever with their tools, EDR, passive scanners, you know, user behavior analytics, whatever. Okay. Same day they got it sorted out. And then they were able to do forensics same day and see that the threat actors were able to access the lab database and steal 1 million people's records. So, why do I bring this up? I want you to understand that once the threat actor gets in, it's like even this company has obviously good cybersecurity. They were able to detect the attack from a sophisticated threat actor the same day. Okay, and it was ransomware, so chances are an end user did something dumb and they knew and contacted. But they were able to detect and respond effectively in one day. And it sounds like they were able to recover, quote unquote, recover, get back to a known good, kick the threat actor out. And it doesn't sound like they had to restore much, but you have to imagine that there was some compromised assets in the environment. Whatever got compromised to allow the threat actors to come and go, and then do data exfil. And even with that level of information security program maturity, they still had 1 million record breach. They still have to report to Oregon, Texas, South Carolina, Washington, Massachusetts. Give it a minute. I guarantee you there's people in Maine who are getting dialysis. Maine isn't Maine's attorney general doesn't joke around. Like you're gonna get your letters from the Maine attorney general about data breach reporting. So sadly, my takeaway here is even when you do all the things right, you can still suffer a breach, which is why it's important from a GRC perspective to understand we can't secure systems fully. Okay? Just come to terms with that. Let the reality wash over you. All we can do is manage risk. Okay? All we can do is reduce risk to acceptable levels. There will always be residual risk. Okay? Always. Always, always, always residual risk. Okay? My brain isn't fully working right now, so I don't have a great like metaphor off the cuff. But you know what, I guess like this is probably a ridiculous metaphor, but like even if you like scrub your body with a pumice, not a hummus stone. Yeah, you want some chickpea bath products. Like if you scrub yourself with a pumice stone and a face cloth, and then you go through like an acid bath and you shave all the body hair on your body. You do all the things. You brush your teeth thoroughly and you do 3 mouthwashes. If you do all the things, you are still going to have some bacteria on your body, right? You're not lab clean. You're very clean, but you still have some bacteria. This is directly related to information security programs, okay? Think about this for a second. Normally, like say you go and play a friggin' like a pickup basketball game, all right? You're in the park, you're shooting hoops, whatever, and you get a little sweaty, right? So you go, back to the men's room or your ladies' room, or you go back to your house or whatever. You grab a face cloth, you wash your face, your hands, and maybe you wipe your neck down. Like you still have sweaty pits, right? You still have body on you, but your hands and face are clean. You can eat. You can process food. You can shake people's hands and not be gross, right? So that's like kind of an immature information security program. At the same time, you could invest in security technologies and all the products and harden the living crap out of everything, and take that more super hygiene bath, but you still have some bacteria. That's the TLDR here. Hopefully this works for you guys. I do love giving metaphors to help convey knowledge.
Huge thanks to our sponsor, ThreatLocker. ThreatLocker is a global leader in zero trust endpoint security, offering cybersecurity controls to protect businesses from zero-day attacks and ransomware. ThreatLocker operates with a default deny approach to reduce the attack surface and mitigate potential cyber vulnerabilities. To learn more and to start your free trial, visit threatlocker.com/CISO, that is THREATLOCKER.com/CISO.
Yes, welcome to the party, Daniel Lowry. I'm Friday of DEF CON week, so this is where I'm at. Hold on one second. Hold on, we got to do this. I got to do the delete me read too. Hold on, here we go. All right, holla, holla, holla. Guys, I want to say thank you, all of you today, to being here, for crushing in. 300 of you souls getting up at 5 a.m. if you're out here on the left coast. Definitely excited to see all of you, or as many of you as I possibly can, today at the community meetup. Give a shout out to the stream sponsors, Barricade Cyber, Antisyphon, ThreatLocker, and Delete Me. Oh, hello, Delete Me. What have we here? Hold on one second, I gotta do this. All right, guys. Here we go. Delete Me makes it easy, quick, and safe to remove your personal data online at a time when surveillance and data breaches are common enough to make everyone vulnerable. Data brokers make a profit off your data. Your data is a commodity. Anyone on the web can buy your private details. This can lead to identity theft, phishing attempts, and harassment. But now you can protect your privacy with Delete Me. As someone with an active online presence, privacy is really important to me. I travel quite a bit, and when I get back to my home, I'd like to be able to rest and recover, spend time with my family, and choose who knows where my home address is. And that's a piece of data that data brokers can absolutely sell. And for personal protection of the ones that I love, I prefer to choose who has that address, not who can buy it. Take control of your data and keep your private life private by signing up for Delete Me now at a special discount for our listeners. Get 20% off your Delete Me plan when you go to joindeleteme.com/simplycyber and use promo code simplycyber at checkout. The only way to get 20% off is to go to joindeleteme.com/simplycyber and enter code simplycyber at checkout. That's joindeleteme.com/simplycyber, code simplycyber. And remember, whether it's Simply Cyber, Antisyphon, Barricade Cyber, any of them, the links are in the description below, and it really does go a long way personally. By clicking on those links and checking out those vendors. I do feel like I'm a steward to this community, so I don't partner with bullshit companies. So if they are a sponsor, they're legit, and I totally wholeheartedly stand behind them. Oh my gosh, guys, every single day of the week has a special Oh my god. Bro. All right. Every single day of the week has a special segment, and Fridays is James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet, dad joke of the week. Now, James McQuiggan will be at the Simply Cyber Community Meetup later today, so if you're going to be there, you'll be able to see him. Oh, and he just dropped in the super chat, of course. All right, thanks. Thank you so much, James McQuiggan, for the super chat. Let's see what he says. Day 6 of Hacker Summer Camp, and I'm feeling it with you, Jerry. Today is going to be awesome, and seeing everyone will be better with caffeine, or better than caffeine, monster drinks, and adrenaline. It will be awesome, all caps. All right, let's give that a love. Thank you, James. Mrs. Auger and I actually had lunch with James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet yesterday at Slice of Vegas, so definitely enjoyed that. That's, to me, that really is what this week is all about. It's connecting with old friends, making new ones. I actually made some new friends at dinner last night, which was a lot of fun. This is how you con. All right, let's do the jokes of the week, okay? Here we go. What type of shoes does a desert wear? What type of shoes does a desert wear? A desert wears sandals. Sandals. All right. What is the desert so funny? What is the desert so funny? Why is the desert so funny? Carrie, you'll love this one. The desert's so funny because it has dry jokes. Oh my God. James McQuiggan at 35,000. Only James can have a collection of jokes that have to do with the desert somehow. James also says, "What's a desert's favorite snack?" A desert's favorite snack, did you know, is a sandwich. Sandwich. Oh. All right. Thank you, James McQuiggan. James, I might have to call the detection crew on you. These jokes were particularly groany. So if you've been following James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet's jokes of the week for some time, he's been doing it for like well over a year. Some of them are unbelievable rib ticklers, and then some of them are groaners. And I do feel very groany on this one. Let's get the music cooking here. If you're a regular member, you know what we're about to do. But if you're a first timer, just type la 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 in chat and let this wash over you in an awesome wave. Here we go. Let's finish strong, everybody.
Another video surveillance company is facing problems. Researchers from security firm Clarity have identified a number of security flaws in video surveillance products from Axis Communications, AXIS. These could be vulnerable to RCE takeover attacks, specifically through the company's Axis Device Manager, which manages fleets of cameras, as well as the Axis Camera Station, which is client software used to view camera feeds. Clarity said it found more than 6,500 servers that, quote, expose the proprietary Axis remoting protocol and its services over the internet, out of which nearly 4,000 are located in the US, end quote. The 4 CVE numbers associated with these flaws range from 4.8 to 9.0 on the CVSS scale and are listed in the show notes to this episode.
All right.
So,
dude, I feel like 2017 called and they want their like research back. So there have been numerous there's been numerous IoT webcam, not webcam, but like IoT camera stories lately. This one's pretty gross. I do want to say a quick shout out to whoever grabbed this screenshot. This is probably from a slide deck of this research being disclosed. And again, really quickly, the point of this show, okay, the point of this show is to deliver education and real insights that you won't get in a classroom or a textbook or anything like that. And I just want to point out really quickly, it's a subtle thing, but if you're an aspiring pen tester or you're just a student who likes to learn, I just want to point out, like, you can see a couple things in the screenshot. Number one, you can see 2 terminal shells. The one on the left is running the exploit code, a Python script, and then you can see like it's set up to print to the screen certain statuses. And on the right is a reverse shell listener using Netcat. Okay, now you don't have to understand what Netcat is. You don't have to understand how Python exploits work. What you should know is it's really, really common, and you should do this yourself if you want to like do CTFs or you want to get into like penetration. Like having multiple terminals going and kind of like using the real estate of your display effectively. Like it's pretty common. I think if I'm not mistaken, Daniel Lowry, correct me if I'm wrong, but TMUX, there's certain software that can like help you kind of manage your terminal shells and stuff. The other thing here is there is a screenshot from Process Explorer showing that the ACS service executable, which is probably the legit executable, spawns a command line shell, which then spawns a PowerShell, which then spawns a command line shell process. This right here, like if you guys can see it on stream, if you're just listening on the audio, I'm sorry, but basically it's a process that has a child, that has a child, that has a child, and 2 of them are command line shells. This right here, if you see this in your process tree, highly likely this is malware. Okay, this is not even remotely close to look normal. All right. So this is a pre-authentication remote code execution, which basically means these cameras, which they say in the story, can be accessed and discovered as connected to the internet facing. So you would want to use a solution like Shodan, Shodan, to discover these devices, thousands of them, as it were. And you do have to run the exploit code. So I don't know if that's been published or not. So there is a little bit of a barrier to entry. There's a couple vulnerabilities that you have to chain together. The particular one that has the highest CVSS score, CVSS being kind of the vulnerability score between 0 and 10 of how bad this vulnerability is. It allows practitioners a quick way to understand, if this, like, how bad is this. You can see here this one has a 9 out of 10 CVSS score, but we are looking at the EPSS score, which is a different way of rating vulnerabilities and allows us to understand how bad is this, like, really from being exploited, right? So you can have these vulnerabilities, but they might be so obscure and so academic that they're not really practical to see in your environment. This one has a less than 1% chance of seeing exploitation in your environment in the next 30 days. So, yeah, this one has this particular vulnerability would require an authenticated user to perform a remote code execution attack. Chances are you chain it together with another vulnerability that allows you to do something as an unauthenticated person. So, yeah, it's not good. I do want to say really quickly, the man in the middle attack does require you to find someone who's connecting to it. Like, that's in the middle part. You're between a client and a server. So if you do discover these devices online, again, if someone in chat has a different understanding of this attack, let me know. But, like, traditionally, if you want to be the attacker in the middle here, you can find those access camera stations and find that they're vulnerable and get ready to take them over. But you still need a client to connect to them. You need to, like, basically intercept client communications and then relay them to the server. Either manipulated or as to do whatever it is that you're going to do, because you're basically, it sounds like, leveraging the client's credentials. So basically, this isn't just a point and shoot exploit, right? You have to have an extra piece of the puzzle. Jenny Housley in chat talking, I thought THM had some rooms teaching how to use TMUX. That might be possible. If you know in chat if Try Hack Me has rooms around TMUX, or if you have any thoughts about TMUX. Again, I haven't really used TMUX. I've screwed around with it, but I like play a pen tester on TV, right? MTV. I don't really, like, in my day-to-day job, GRC people aren't running around with terminal shells and multiple reverse shells running around talking about interpreters and such, right?
France and KLM announced data.
So anyway, like, hold on really quickly. For this particular one, if you are running these access camera stations in your environment, number one, patch it. You gotta patch it. Number two, just be aware of this attack, right? If you really want to, you could go threat hunting and see, but for the most part, it depends where the cameras are, right? Like, if the cameras are inside patient rooms or really sensitive areas, then you could have some sensitive information that's being, like, disclosed. If you're depending on those cameras for physical security, meaning, like, you're watching, I don't know, like, not to get too polarizing, but imagine these cameras were being used in a prison to make sure that prisoners who are on potential solitary confinement and suicide watch, if there is an incident, then you have all the cameras watching all the doors instead of just one camera feed from across the prison shoe, which leads to all these questions. And then, so my point is, a threat actor could disable these cameras, right, as part of a bigger initiative, a bigger physical security attack on the environment.
Breaches. The two airlines announced on Wednesday that attackers had, quote, breached a customer service platform and stolen the data of an undisclosed number of customers, end quote. The airlines are part of a French-Dutch multinational airline holding company group called Air France-KLM Group, whose systems were compromised. Spokespeople for the group emphasized that their networks were not affected by the attack and that customers' financial and personal information was not affected. Bleeping Computer suggests that this incident is, quote, part of a wave of data breaches linked to the Shiny Hunters extortion group, which targets Salesforce instances in phishing and social engineering attacks, end quote.
All right, yeah, so here's the deal. All right, this is like this story, it pisses me off, man. So check this out, okay? Air France, KLM, big, huge airlines, massive companies. This is a Salesforce data breach. This is no different than when Snowflake's databases got hacked and all the people who used Snowflake for back-end cloud infrastructure like Ticketmaster, AT&T, etc., had their data breach. This is a supply chain attack. This is a reputational impact. KLM and Air France did nothing wrong except hire Salesforce to do their customer relationship management. And Salesforce got breached, and now we're listening to a story about Air France's customers having been involved in a data breach. You see what I'm saying? I told you earlier, like, you can never get rid of it. If you didn't hear it, go back and listen. I had this like ridiculous over the top metaphor around or analogy around like bathing yourself and the number of bacteria you have is the cyber risk that you're accepting. It made sense in the time, so please go check that out. But here's my thing: when you're doing tabletop exercises, when you're thinking of who to partner with and stuff like that, a 1,000 out of 1,000 times, a company will partner with Salesforce. Like I guarantee you, there's nobody who's going to be like, whoa, 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 Salesforce? We gave them a third party risk questionnaire and they filled it out. I don't think Salesforce is secure enough. Like chances are Salesforce's security is probably pretty solid. Second of all, the business is going to tell you to take your GRC checklist and go away because they're going to go work with Salesforce because more often than not, Salesforce is used for like managing leads and managing your sales pipeline and stuff like that, which basically attributes to money.
Straight cash, homie.
So if you're trying to impact the chief revenue officer's job, they're going to tell you like you're awfully cute and your cyber mission is fun. Have fun in Vegas, but we're going to continue to use Salesforce. The thing that I would consider here is you can do a couple things. One, you can have third-party risk insurance to kind of pay for some of the reputational harm that this is going to impact. And also introduce through tabletop exercises. You can do ransomware attacks and stuff like that, which are super common. Phishing attacks, super common. But if you're looking to spice things up, you may want to consider a tabletop exercise scenario where you're not breached. Like your company didn't do anything. Like there's nothing for Todd and the server team to do. There's nothing for Katie and the endpoint team to do because your systems weren't breached. A third party who has all your data was breached, and now you're dealing with blowback from that. And what do? How do you handle that? That is like a really great scenario and one worth considering. I would say I would only consider it really if you're like a larger company, right? If you're like a 500, like whatever, like say 1,000-person company, $700 million annual revenue, you make like I don't know, like this the handles on pocket knives, right? Like say that your company manufactures those handles, or your company manufactures the the little the fidget things or whatever they're called at the end of shoelaces. Like your company makes those, right? You don't have to manage your reputation there because frankly no one's heard of you before, and a data breach is like, okay, like big deal. So it's more of like very, very B2C kind of major customer facing companies, like I don't know, like Blue Cross Blue Shield, right? Or these airline companies. So anyways, yeah, Supply chain risk, it's a thing.
Ghost calls exploits video chat connectivity to break in. Speaking at Black Hat USA, security researcher Adam Crosser of Praetorian described a post-exploitation command and control evasion method called ghost calls. This process abuses turn servers. These are traversal using relays around NAT, TURN, a networking protocol used by video call, VoIP, and WebRTC services that, quote, helps devices behind NAT firewalls communicate with each other when a direct connection is not possible, end quote. For example, a Zoom or Teams meeting uses temporary turn credentials, and now these can be hijacked to set up a WebRTC tunnel between the attacker and the victim. Ghost Calls uses legitimate credentials, WebRTC, and custom tooling to bypass most existing defenses and anti-abuse measures without relying on an exploit, allowing operators to blend interactive command and control sessions into normal enterprise traffic patterns, appearing as nothing more than a temporarily joined online meeting, end quote.
All right, we'll get a little bit more technical on this one. This is clever. This is Black Hat research. Essentially, what they're saying here is that they're using normal traffic for C2. C2 is command and control. It's the way that threat actors control their compromised assets in an environment. It's how modern cybercrime and modern threat actors work. Okay, let me break this down for you a couple ways. Number one, this doesn't use an exploit. Okay, so it's not some vulnerability that's being exploited. This is like the most epic living off the land attack that you'll see, right? Because typically living off the land is using binaries and executables that come by default with the operating system. This one is living off the land on network traffic that you're expected to see. Now the threat actor, a couple of things. One, the threat actor, I don't believe has to join the Zoom call, right? It's not that. It's Zoom is because Zoom and Teams and these web these team meeting applications are having a lot of data pushed through them. They want low latency because they don't want someone's virtual meeting to be all janky and pixelated and, oh, hey, you're cutting out. People will stop using your product. So it needs to be, low latency, pretty good fidelity, right? So because of that, there are these protocols that allow faster transmission of data because they've obviously compromised in other areas. The threat actors are aware of this, and the threat actors are basically jumping into the streams of that turn server, and the turn server is the one that's handling this kind of like a traffic cop style move of like allowing traffic, stopping traffic, allowing traffic. And the threat actor just jumps in there and starts sending their C2. So C2 can be used anywhere. If you can send data out, you can use it for C2. C2 doesn't have to be super complicated. You can use DNS for C2. You can use files. You can use Telegram chat for C2. Like, long as there is some established protocol between two endpoints on how traffic is going to look and be communicated, you can communicate anyway, right? This is no different than taking out an ad in a newspaper back in the day when they had physical papers, taking it out in a newspaper in the like looking for love section or whatever it is. I don't even know what they call those sections, but like, man looking for woman who likes pina coladas and long walks in the rain, right? Like looking for that. But then you use like code words in there and you're able to communicate back and forth. That's like an old-timey spy thriller type thing. But my point is that's C2 as well. This one, clever. You can't really stop it. Now, here's a couple things. Number one, you should be able to, like, these turn servers, I don't know if they're probably services that are provided by Zoom or by Microsoft Teams. They're not servers that you stand up yourself. I don't know how you would actually protect from this because the threat actor just needs to know that you've established a meeting. If they are invited to the meeting, they would know it. If they are on your network and can see network traffic that you've started a meeting, I could possibly see that too. You can see that the actual payload consists of two components. One's a controller that runs on the attacker side, and one is a relay that deploys on a compromised host. All right, so I don't understand like where the compromised host piece falls into it, but again, now we're talking about additional level of lift, right? You'd have to compromise an endpoint, which means you'd have to bypass EDR. You'd have to do all these things. To me, this is very much a post-exploitation C2 framework, right? You already own a box or own their network. You already have compromised them, and now you're establishing persistence and C2 communications. That's what this is. So again, from a GRC perspective, if you put good controls in place, good protections, good defenses, defense in depth, and you detect these things happening, the threat actor never gets there. I do, again, I definitely appreciate it. But one thing that I just find a little like, I don't want to say disingenuous, but slightly misleading is that they say, here, without relying on an exploit, right? So when you see without relying on an exploit, you might be like, oh my God, this is like next level. Like, we're all vulnerable. We're all going to die. No, like the threat actor needs legitimate credentials. They need access to the system. They need to have already compromised assets. Okay. So without relying on an exploit is kind of misleading because you already own the boxes. Once you own a box, you can deploy anything you want. You don't need to exploit it. You literally, to me, like having the legitimate credentials is the vulnerability that you are exploiting. It's just not a technical 0-day exploit. All right.
Microsoft reveals Project Auger that autonomously detects malware. Project Auger, spelled I-R-E, is, quote, an LLM-powered autonomous malware classification system that uses decompilers and other tools, reviews their output, and determines the nature of the software without assistance. Microsoft says the system is, quote, its first reverse engineer, human or machine, to author a conviction case for APT malware, leading to automatic blocking by Microsoft Defender, end quote. It adds that although Microsoft Defender scans over 1 billion devices monthly, malware classification currently relies heavily on expert review. But these analysts face fatigue and burnout, especially since most software does not clearly signal that it is malicious. And further malware classification, quote, lacks definitive validation, making automation difficult and highlighting the need for scalable, intelligent solutions, end quote.
All right. I mean, this is going to be like, I don't know, man. This isn't like all the rage at Black Hat, but I mean, certainly AI is all over the place. You know what? I actually saw a lot of talks at Black Hat and a lot of conversations at Black Hat around, yeah, AI is good, but it's like 70% good. It can detect 70% of the time. So, like, you don't really want to go whole hog into AI doing all of your SOC work or all of your knowledge work because 30% of the time it's like completely wrong. So like that to me, that's definitely not something that I want to take accept as acceptable rates of false positives. So this Project Auger, I would assume this got dropped as part of an announcement at Black Hat, but it can reverse engineer and classify software automatically. Pretty cool. I mean, if you're getting into reverse engineering just as a student, it might be interesting to use this tool just to see its methodologies and stuff. But yeah, it can fully reverse a software. I mean, this is insane. So just so we're all on the same page, because you might not be familiar with the term reverse engineering. Reverse engineering is essentially taking a binary, right? Or it doesn't have to be a binary. It could be a Python script or whatever, but typically it's a compiled binary because that's why you're reversing it. You're not, a Python script is interpreted, so it's not compiled, so you can look at the source code and it is what it is. So you can do analysis on it. You don't need to reverse it. Reversing is like unpacking a compressed file system on an IoT device, or taking a Windows binary .exe file or .dll file and sticking it into a disassembler like IDA or Geeger or something like that, and reverse, like, to me the reverse is like reversing the compilation of the code. So then you're looking at some version of what the compiler made of it. So it's not exactly looking at what the developer wrote, because compilers will oftentimes improve the efficiency of the code. And this Project Ire is an AI that does it. I think it's super cool. I mean, honestly, guys, like we already use like tools like AnyRun and hybrid analysis to do real time, like really fast dynamic analysis of endpoints. So reverse engineering is definitely its own field, but it's more specialized, right? Like not only is it incredibly difficult to do, but it's more specialized. Like Google has reverse engineers, Recorded Future has reverse engineers. Like Sally and Bob's manufacturing company that's manufacturing, weed whacker line or pennies or something is not hiring reverse engineers. So I could see this continuing to level up and basically be a SaaS product ultimately that is available for mid-market companies. Again, at the end of the day, like just from a business perspective, really quick, why would you need this service? Like if you're a mid-market company, you're not going to spend $20 a month to get access to an AI that can reverse engineer, because what are you going to do with the code once it's reversed? You're not, right? It's not really for that. I will tell you though that it's coming. I would imagine, honestly, guys, like I hate to be doom and gloom guy, but realistically, these AI engines are going to get better, have higher, fidelity, higher quality outputs, et cetera, et cetera. It'll enable us to move faster, be better. But the ideas of the days of like sitting down and cracking open a binary and spending 8 hours reversing it, probably gonna be cut down from 8 hours to a couple hours, because the AI engine's gonna do all the heavy lifting and just give you the outputs. All right, let's cook here. All right, guys. Holla, holla, holla. I do want to say shout out and thank you to all of you. Reminder, I will be speaking at DEF CON Noob Village at 10 a.m. local time. So I don't even know what time it is right now. What time is it? 6 a.m. So in 4 hours, I'll be at Noob Village. I'll probably be at DEF CON about 9 a.m. local time, just to kind of high-five people and make sure I get where I need to get to and get sorted out. I hope you can join us, but don't go anywhere, because we're about to do some jaw jacking. Jaw jacking is a 30-minute AMA. We typically have multiple people on the panel besides me on Fridays. I see Daniel Lowry's already queued up, so we're going to get some Daniel Lowry action. And then at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, James O'Quigan's going to be talking to our very own Casually Joseph, a very Simply Cyber vibed episode of Simply Secured. So you're going to want to watch that. Trust me, you're really going to watch this. If you're looking to feel good, if you're looking for inspiration, this is an episode to catch. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. Let's go get into some jaw jacking. See ya. Ever wonder what it takes to break into cybersecurity? Join us every weekday for Jaw Jacking, where industry experts answer your burning questions about the cybersecurity field. Live, unfiltered, and totally free. Let's level up together. It's time for some jaw jacking. All right, what's up, everybody? This is Jaw Jacking. It's a 30-minute show. Fridays we have a panel. It awfully goes quick, so if you have questions, drop them in chat. Before we bring Daniel on, I just want to say a quick shout out. James McQuiggan with another super chat. Thank you, James. He says one more super chat, another shout out for episode 5 of Simply Secured with Casually Joseph. I hope everyone enjoys the episode today. Be sure to watch also. If you see me today at the meetup, he has stickers. That is true. I actually have one of the stickers. I don't want to show this particular one, but yes, I have James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet. I've spotted him, I saw him, and I got his sticker. Also, remember, if you see me today, don't be shy. Get one of these stickers from me. These are my stickers that I'm running around giving with the QR code with the custom playlist that I made for you. So come check that out. All right, here we go. Let's bring on Daniel Lowry. Daniel, get ready. 3, 2, 1. What's up, Daniel Lowry?
Hey, Jerry. You know what's funny is I just did some like personal OSINT just by looking at your room and went, he's in the Luxor.
Oh, I am. I'm very much in the Luxor, yeah.
I was like, how is he hanging? It looks like, because I was looking at you and I'm like, it looks like he's like got the window? Is he on the ceiling? Is he pasted himself to the wall? I don't know what's going on here. And then I realized it was the pyramid shape. I'm like,
Yeah.
I've been in those rooms. I know what's going on now. I see that.
Oh yeah,
It's
and
kind
you
of
that
funny.
means you've definitely rode in the inclinator. For those who don't know, the elevator at the Luxor goes diagonal, so it feels very unsettling. It feels like you're in Willy Wonka's chocolate factory, and like, Nadine was like, "Oh, is an Oompa Loompa gonna jump out at us at some point here?" But it's good to see you, Daniel. Love the shirt. Got that retro synthwave vibes this morning. Good to
Thank you.
see you.
Thank you. Good to see you. Good to see you.
Yeah, let's get into it. If you have questions, drop them in chat with a Q. We are at Black Hat DEF CON. I'm super excited for DEF CON today and the Simply Cyber Community Meetup. I do want to let everyone know that let Daniel know that the Simply Cyber Community Meetup, we had a cap at 225 tickets. We sold out of the tickets, and I was able to understand that we could get a little bit more headcount in there. So I did open up 25 more slots for registration. So if you want to come to the Simply Cyber meetup and the tickets were closed out, there's a few more, but time, things are going fast. Get it while it's hot. But we were able to raise over $1,000 for Black Girls Hack organization. So super proud of that as well. Daniel, let's see. First question: where is Michelle Kahn to tell us what room number Jerry and Mrs. Auger are in? Very good.
I
So
say 1337, right? That's
exactly, that'd be sick. So Daniel, like for someone who's like looking at Black Hat and DEF CON from the outside looking in, like how's this week been? I mean, are you just like tuned into it, or are you like radio silence on any of the updates and stuff?
So no, I mean a lot of people are posting in socials, and I typically am hunting LinkedIn, so I see things from time to time. I've seen Tyler post a few things and hitting people up, and some of the, I guess I hate the term, but it is what it is. Influencers that are there, posting things. So it's kind of hard to get away from that chatter. Not that I would care to. I mean, it's cool, right? I've been to Black Hat, and there was pros and cons about it, and as there is to just about any con, but for the most part, it was a pretty good time. There's a lot of people. I'm not a huge fan of Vegas, so I have lost any kind of like, oh, Vegas, baby. That's not. It's like, yeah, it's really hot, especially right now, and there's so many people, and you get, because we're East Coast people, Jerry. I mean, I think you are a prime example of what happens when an East Coaster goes to Vegas 3 hours behind us
This is what it
and
looks
then
like.
tries to maintain. Yeah.
Yeah. This is, and I'm not even like abusing myself. Like this is like
Right.
this is like standard operating, Jerry, and it's pretty rough, dude. It's rough. So
Yeah.
yeah,
It's kind of funny. I always, anytime I go, into a different time zone, I'll do my best to stay as close to, or if not on East Coast time. And that means like when I'm in Vegas, I'm getting up at like 4 a.m. or whatever it is, 3 a.m.
yeah.
And it's a little weird when you're out there at that time, but
When I tell people that I do a daily show, they're usually like, "Oh my god!" Like they're usually kind of taken back. And then when I tell them that I get up at 4 in the morning, when I'm in Vegas to do the show at 5 a.m., they're like, "Stop, just stop, dude. No, like I can't with you right now." So that's a pretty common conversation I have multiple times. Let's get some questions asked here. Alicia Parkinson, as you called the aristocrat, what is one thing you would tell yourself at the beginning of your journey with the knowledge you have now, or would you change at the beginning of your journey? Okay, so I'll take this first, but then Daniel, this is a great question, so I'll throw it to you
yeah.
afterwards. So Alicia, for me, I've got 20 plus years of experience. When I came out of college, I came out computer science, and I was going to be a software engineer. So, but the lesson applies to cyber as well. I was so like green. I was so spring child about like how corporate America worked. Like I thought literally like, oh, I'm a software engineer with a computer science degree from a big university. Like I'm just going to walk out and like be able to pit employers against each other and get this, huge salary. And I walked out and like it was just like an empty parking lot and like tumbleweed and I'm like, well, where's all the employers? So I didn't realize that college isn't just a extension of high school where you just finish it and then you go on to the next logical phase. You have to invest in relationships. You have to invest in yourself, and you have to go beyond the minimum expectations. And that's something that I didn't really realize because academia came easy to me. So like I was never really pushing myself. I was just kind of cruising. And now I'm well aware that it is relationships, and not it's not the smartest kid in the room. It's not the valedictorian that gets the best jobs and best opportunities. It's the person who graduates. They're still a graduate, but they spent time developing relationships and delivering value and stuff like that, which is going to make you go much, much further, much faster. Daniel?
Yeah, that was a great answer, because that is definitely, once you figure out it's all about building relationships, or a very large portion of it anyway is, and that is one of the biggest helps that you can give yourself. That's phenomenal advice. So I like that. Another one is to try to look for oncoming trends, right? Because things move very quickly in IT and cyber. Like anything tech related moves fast, and it looks like it's just going to move faster and faster and faster. So this is going to be a much more difficult thing. But you got to see what's on the horizon. You got to be watching, and you'll notice the trends because things will start popping up in the news. So if you're doing stuff like this and watching Jerry's show and hearing him tell you what's going on, so you start to see, okay, well, this is where they're going to have to start building more defenses because that is where the attacks are coming from. So obviously they're weak there. Maybe I could get ahead of things and start studying that specific thing, gain a very particular set of skills, become, the Liam Neeson of cyber. That's a really good skill to have, is to try to, because I remember when, like, kind of going back to you guys, what's what made me think of it, Jerry, is you're talking about when you got in, and this question is about when we got in, is I wanted to be a network engineer, right? That was all I cared about. It was Cisco this and routers that and switches. And by the time I got through my program to where I understood networking, things had changed and it was no longer as hot, right? So it was like, well, now what do I do? Right. And I didn't have the personal network built up. I was kind of like Jerry. I had a set of skills that were now not as on fire as they were when I started my program to get up to speed with that stuff. So I had to pivot. I ended up working on a help desk, and that was cool. It was, and that taught me a lot, actually. Taught me how to deal with people and work with them, make them feel, and this is one of the things that I think that I was really good at not at first. At first, I was a hot-headed 20-year-old that, threw my headset against the wall a bunch of times and would swear at my phone and get angry. But then I realized that didn't help anybody, including me. So I started going, okay, you know what? This is just something I got to do. And they need help. They don't know what's going on. And I realized, hey, I'm really good at coming alongside them and showing them we're going to get through this. I'm in it with you. I'm not like your adversary. And that, guess what that did? That built relationships. I went, oh, people like me. People like that I like to help them. And I don't just try to push them to the side and, oh, I'm the big tech geek that knows everything about everything. So that would be the one thing I would tell myself is like, you need to be in tune with your clients. You need to be in tune with your customers. You need to be in tune with your users as their advocate, and not their adversary, right? That's a great skill to build and to make people feel comfortable that you are there to help. That is a great way to build trust and a good relationship.
Wade Wells coming in hot to answer this question as well. Wade, good to see you, buddy.
Am I on? Is this working?
Yeah, you are here with us live.
I had a late night of playing Battlefield 6.
Oh, very nice. Oh, is it a full release?
No, beta is out, so the one good thing about missing DEF CON is I got to play that. It's all weekend, so screw everyone at DEF CON. I am playing Battlefield.
Tell us how you really feel. Yeah.
I wish I would have taught myself programming sooner. Maybe taken one good programming class, because I taught myself Python probably like 4 or 5 times in a row. And after I actually started automating stuff, I realized how much I stood out in the security operations field with a little bit of Python experience. It was tremendous.
There you go. Pick up a programming skill. I would say again, I was a software developer. I'm like nervous to use the term engineer, but the thing you should understand is that once you learn like programming, like the concepts and the paradigms of programming repeat across languages. So like once you understand like variables and functions and condition loops and imports and stuff like that, it doesn't matter if it's Python, Tickle, Perl, C plus or C plus plus. It's all the same. So it does help you understand. It probably makes you a better cybersecurity practitioner because you can appreciate what the code is doing because you can understand it. All right, we are at 9:16 Eastern, and we are going to be dropping at 9:30 for Simply Secure, James McQuiggan, and Casually Joseph. So we're going to run through some of these. David Robbins says, "Do you ever sit back and realize 400 people wake up every morning?" Yeah, no, it's awesome. Yeah, let's do it. I love service. I love community. I mean, these particular guys right here stream all the time, right? And there's lots of us doing it. There's been a movement the last 5 6 years of cyber content creators, people who genuinely care. It's less about the friggin' green screen and the bells and whistles, and it's more about just service and community and knowledge share. And I love it, and I'm super pumped. And for you West Coast people like Wade and others who get up early every day, not just when Hacker Summer Camp's happening, I do appreciate you. That's why I get up at 4 a.m. when I'm out here, so I'm not a poser. But I'll take my East Coast time. I look forward to it. Can you do an extra morning pour today, Daniel Lowry, on your show? Daniel Lowry will be doing his show at 10 a.m. Eastern today. Any, I guess, 10 seconds on a pour, Daniel?
Oh, well, we'll make sure to dedicate this pour to Jerry Auger. How about that?
Thank you. I appreciate that.
No problem.
I am excited. I don't know if it's considered speaking at DEF CON because it's a village, but like I've never spoke at DEF CON, any event at DEF CON, so I am like super pumped from like a personal career checklist type thing of doing that talk today.
It counts. It definitely counts. Don't you open Noob Village too?
I do open Noob Village. I've been known to open a conference now and again, so I'm super excited. I'm actually using Dan Reardon's Where the Wild Things Are slide deck template, and I've made the entire theme of my talk around you being Max and the wild things being like just like the cybersecurity industry and like how hot mess it is and how I'm going to basically show you how to become Max and wear the crown and everything. All right.
That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it's fun. Ronald says, "Hey, I'm 22 in HD. I don't know what that means. I guess. And I have Sec Plus, Sysa Plus, Splunk, a lot of certs here. Any advice to land a SOC analyst job?" All right. Well, I mean, Wade Wells, you are a resident blue teamer. What do you think? With someone who's got a bunch of certs, it looks like they are been studying some Azure stuff as well, finishing up their bachelor's degree. So they're trying to like pave the runway here as they complete.
Yeah. You definitely have all the correct certs. I'll say that, especially with the Splunk core certification. I don't usually see a lot of people who don't have a job who have that, which is, I would say, something that stands out to me. I would say your next thing is to just start applying and to start meeting people. Like, that's going to be the next best move.
There you go.
Hopefully you live somewhere that is that has a good tech hub, because that would be the one thing. Those entry-level SOC jobs usually aren't remote as much.
There you go. Entry-level SOC jobs, not remote, so you might have a tough time finding those. But like you said, I got to tell you, like, you're doing the right things, right? You got the right certs. That's what Wade just said. You're here right now engaging with a community that is, a best practice that we all say as well. I'm looking for questions in chat. If you have a question, put it in chat. I am personally excited about Battlefield 6, just because Wade mentioned it. I love the Battlefield franchises. I've been disappointed. I liked Battlefield 3.
Then you're gonna love Battlefield 6. It's pretty much a copy paste of 3 and 4. It's pretty good. I was doing the 6, like I think it was 45 on 45. I don't know. It was huge. It was planes, bombs, machine guns.
Yeah,
fun stuff.
No, that's perfect. They must have like listened to their audience for a change instead of just whatever they've been doing. So I'm looking. I do see Kathy Chambers in chat. I do want to say what's up to Kathy Chambers. Wade, you had mentioned earlier before you came on the platform here that this week is really about making friends, not about anything else at the conference. Do you want to elaborate there? Here it is. Less Vegas, more my friends. Because Daniel and I were complaining about Vegas, baby, Vegas. So talk about this particular one because I feel like people who don't know should know.
Yeah. Like once you're part of, I would say, the InfoSec community, it's a lot easier to have a pretty expanded group of friends that are across not just like the country, but the world. And usually DEF CON is the one place everyone goes and meets up. So like, there are several people that I know that I probably will not see for another year unless I go, next year that are there. Right. Can't remember. Klaus is one of them. I can't remember Klaus's last name. Klaus also goes to Wild.
Klaus Agnetti.
Yeah. I'm not gonna be able to see him. Right. Another one of our friends, Eddie from Simply Social, Simply Social Engineering.
Oh, Eddie
I probably
Merrill,
won't.
yeah.
Yeah, I won't. I won't
Wade
see
introduced
him.
me to at Deadwood, and now
Yeah.
like Eddie and I are doing podcasts together. Yeah.
You name it. I could keep going on the list. A bunch of people. It's more of me meeting up with them and then hearing what's going on, and then there's a couple other like specific blue teamers. We all talk about like more work related stuff, right? And you get a little bit of that room int or that backdoor intelligence of what's going on and what they're seeing. But it's mainly just keeping up with all the buddies and being able to see and having fun. Like I don't even go to like I don't go to talks at DEF CON because one thing, the lines are too long. Like someone told me like you could just cut lines and I'm like, yeah, but I'm not going to do that. Like
That's such a
I'd rather
deep-
just sit in like one of the big halls and like talk to people rather than go to
well,
these talks.
And you can see all the talks online and on replay. Like there's no like the talks are fun, and I used to go to them when I was younger. But like I don't know. It's not the best use of time. I guess And
Yeah.
Yeah.
even to put it in perspective, Nadine said, so I don't have a badge for DEF CON. Like I'm gonna go over there and I'm gonna get like someone's gonna come bring me into Noob Village. I'm gonna speak and then I'm gonna leave. And Nadine doesn't have a badge either, so she can't come over there. We've been doing Black Hat all week together, and she said, "Well, what's the plan for today?" And I said, "Well, I speak from 10 to 11, and then it's probably going to take me 30 to 45 minutes to go from the door at New Village to the outside because I'm going to stop and probably have 10 conversations with people that I don't know what it is or who it's going to be, but like I can tell you there will be a solid 30 to 60 minutes of conversations. And that's just what it is. It's amazing. All right.
Yeah, it's crazy. Hallway Con is really where it's at. Airport Con, right? Those are the best talks that you end up sitting. Is the ones in those circles.
I think I've told this story before, but I was going past La Villa, which is like a Hispanic village, which the whole village is only in Spanish. I just wanted to check it out because I knew someone was running it, and right when I walked in, someone cornered me, and I found out that he was someone who took my CTI class. He was from South America, and he pulled out a bag of coffee and gave it to me. He said, "I knew you were gonna be here, and this is for you." I was like, "Whoa!" Like stuff like that is what DEF CON's really more about than
That's cool.
all these talks.
That is very cool. Yeah, that is very cool.
Coincidentally, my work told me that if I would have asked, they would have sent me, and I was like, "Bullshit!" Like you didn't say that like 6 months ago.
That's awesome and frustrating as well. What would be a good cert that is geared towards control testing and monitoring? So control testing, that's a really, with all due respect to Anderman, that's kind of really generic, like, because you can do technical control testing and validation. So that would be, I guess, around audit, but you can also test controls for efficacy to make sure that, like pen testing is effectively testing controls to see that they're working correctly. Audit is a GRC function that tests controls. So I hate to be such a peckerhead, but like I'm not exactly sure what you're asking. From an audit perspective, the ISACA CISA is a great cert to give consideration to. From a pen testing perspective, I've heard like for the entry level, Pen Test Plus is okay. EJPT I've heard of. I think TCM has a practical junior one, don't they now?
Yeah.
So there's like a practical junior one. Whenever it comes to certs, it's really more about like what is the market saying is valuable, less than what is the best cert. Because at the end of the day, you get the cert, so you can turn around and sell yourself to an employer that you have these certs. All right, guys. Any Daniel? Any thoughts on this?
Yeah, it's like you said. I think you hit some of the pretty good ones there. Because like you say, generic with the whole control testing. What do you mean by that? What specifically are the controls you're wanting to test, and how do you want to test them? So, but yeah, I mean, I know Pentest Plus probably gets a lot of flack, but I think that it's a really good entry level pen testing cert to get you kind of geared into the pen testing sphere, if that's the kind of testing you want to do against controls. Like, hey, are they vulnerable? Because it talks about scoping, vulnerability assessment, vulnerability management, and then into the actual testing of exploitability, and of course then post exploitability, report writing, the whole thing. So it takes you kind of through from soup to nuts if this is you're new to that game. So I like that cert for that reason. But yeah, I mean, a little more detail would help with that.
Yeah, no, it's perfect. And really quick, just going back a hot minute, Wade just mentioned about the con and the friends and Wade and I got introduced in front of, like, we weren't gambling, but like we got introduced in front of a craps table. Like
Riri. We went to Riri a bunch.
Rira, yeah.
Rira, what is that? What it is? Rira.
Yeah.
I saw I snuck a look at LinkedIn, even though I said I wasn't going to go on there, and just immediately cried. But I saw that Josh was there, and I was like, of course. Like,
yeah. No, it's been a great week, dude. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm not trying to rub your nose.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
It's been good. And then also, just really quick, if you saw it on social media, kind of a funny thing. Justin Gold was flying to a client site for, work, and Tyler Ramsby's flight got canceled and rerouted. And basically, they've never met in real life. These two guys who have like shared a lot in experiences and community, and they actually synced up and took a picture at the airport in like Memphis. Because Tyler was flying to Vegas and Justin was flying to wherever. So it's just kind of funny how those things happen, right? So we are at 9:27, just so everybody knows. 2 minutes until Simply Secured. Guys, I don't know if you know, but Casually Joseph is James McQuiggan's guest this week's episode.
I saw that. I'm a little upset because I asked Joseph if he would be on ours, and he kept like giving me the run. And I was like, all right, this is how it is. Like,
okay, interesting. All right, so hey, people in chat have been calling me Hollywood Jerry, like Steve Young and Code Brew, but I don't know. That sounds very diva. That sounds very, he's like, oh, I'm at Palo Alto's Unit 42. I just don't know if I have time. I don't have time.
That was pretty much exactly it. He's like, your time frames don't match with me. Can you guys like do something? And I'm like, God damn it, Joseph.
Yeah, he's like, I'll put you through to my assistant. We'll see if we can't get something sorted out for 2026.
Oh, look, James comes out with the T word right off the bat.
I love it. Yeah, so James is quick at 35,000 feet. We're almost done here. This show does go quick on Fridays. We might have to reevaluate. People really do like it, the long panel. I like the long panel. Daniel, tell us about your 10 a.m. really quickly.
Oh, yeah, we got Cybercast IRL this morning. It's going to be a lot of fun. We talk all things cyber. It's on the table. You got some hot takes. I got some stuff I want to talk about this morning. I think it might entice some people into just interesting things, mostly around AI and the job market. And, of course, just cyber in general, where it's going. This is all the kind of things that we kind of discuss over at Cybercast IRL on Friday mornings. So if you're inclined and you're not busy at something cool like DEF CON or Black Hat, come and join us. We'll have our own little mini CyberCon this week.
Okay,
right
all right.
Cybercast IRL.
All right, so you guys can have a trauma bonding over at Daniel's IRL. Wade, you got something you want to tell us about?
I'm teaching my CTI course at the Blue Team Summit later this month. If you're interested, should be fun. It's only a 1 day. It's the only 1 day training out there at Antisyphon now, which I have to change that, but exclusive. Makes it that much easier. It's a little cheaper. Come on, I stand out a little bit.
And I got to tell you, if you want to learn CTI, Wade Wells is definitely a guy to learn it from. I think I've taken your course, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. You took and made a video about it.
Yeah. No, it's good. Like, I just made so many videos, I forget sometimes. But
It's
guys,
okay. I know.
if you are at DEF CON, I would love the support. I don't typically ask for these type of things, but would love it if you came and checked out my talk. Come check out Noob Village. Josh Mason put a lot of work in, put a great lineup of speakers today. I'm super, super excited. So come out, high fives. And if not, I hope to see you guys at the Simply Cyber community meetup. Definitely don't open LinkedIn this afternoon, Wade, because there's going to be a picture of like 300 people with 2 Simply Cyber flags.
It's okay. I'll be
celebrating.
on Battlefield. I'm not going to. I have something to take my mind now.
Just running around psychopath like an engineer, just like, I don't care about DEF CON. Yeah. I love it. All right, everybody. Thanks so much to Wade and Daniel. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. We'll see you a little bit later. Head on over to Simply Secured with James McQuiggan. We're going to drop a raid. See ya.